Jai Hind everyone. Today we will discuss about the lecture topic in SSB. As you all know that lecture topic is one of the important topic of the GTO session of the SSB, and many candidates went blank when they came in front of all the members and all the cadets and the GTO about delivering their lecture. So in this video we will discuss how to deliver a perfect lecture. If you apply all this thing, even you did not apply all the things provided in this video, if you apply 70% of the things, you will deliver a definitely best lecturate and create an impact on the video. So without delaying further, let's start the video. First of all, what should be the best lecturate include in SSB? Always start your lecturate with quotation or story, right? Because it seems that you have prepared, you are prepared candidate, you are responsible candidate, you have the knowledge about the topic. So you can start your lecture with quotation and story. Second one is the definition. Give the brief definition of this lecture, and then give 3 to 4 key points about your topic. Then give one recent example, and after that challenges, way forward, and strong conclusion. These are basic fundamental things to deliver a perfect lecture. Now we will discuss in details about all these things. So let's move forward. Gentlemen, you know that the duration of lecture is about 3 minutes, in which how should we divide our lecture? Our introduction should part consist 30 to 40 seconds, including the quotation and story part. Our body should consist of about 2 minutes, about nearly 2 minutes, and our conclusion should be again 20 to 30 seconds. This is how a lecture should be delivered. Now let's talk about the opening of our lecture. So opening considered should be considered 20 to 30 seconds. In the opening, after giving the quotation, you have to define the topic. You have to give the definition of the topic, and you have to explain why this topic is important and why it is matters today. You have to talk about the present situation of your topic, right? I have given you an example about intelligence in the warfare, right? AI intelligence in warfare. So you should uh, start your lecture like that. Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to speak on artificial intelligence in warfare, and then define your topic. Artificial intelligence in warfare is what? Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming modern military by improving the surveillance, decision making, and autonomous system. Right? This is the perfect opening of a lecturate in SSB. Okay, so you have to be prepared like that. You have to give your opening introduction in this way, right? Okay. Now we have done with our introduction. Now let's move forward to the body of the lecture. As I told you earlier, that body will consist of 2 minutes. And how will divide these 2 minutes? So first of all, you have to give the present scenario of your lecturate, like what is the current status, and what give the latest example about give the latest example about your lecturate. As you all know that it is the longest part, right? And it is the longest part, right? So second, after giving the present scenario, current status and examples, you have to move toward the advantage. This is must included because every topic has its advantage and has its challenges or disadvantage. So it's become easier to you to identify the advantage and disadvantage. In the advantage, you have to tell why it is important, and you can give your advantage in the points to reduce the unnecessary use of the wording and increasing the length, so you did not have the time for conclusion. So you give the advantage in the points, and then challenges, you can also give the challenges in point, and you can include the challenges in the form of sentences also. What will be the challenges include? Challenges will include risk, what that things creates in creating the risk. It will include the ethical issue, what ethical issue regarding, if my topic is artificial intelligence, so what ethical issue is of artificial intelligence, and what are the security concerns of artificial intelligence, like cyber warfare and like the jobs, many more reasons. Okay, so this is our basically a body part. Now next part is the way forward part. Way forward part is also came under body part, right? And what you have to give in way forward, you have to tell about the solution in the way forward, right? What are the practical solution to good use of the artificial intelligence, and what is India's role in the artificial intelligence, and whatever it is your topic, you have to give the solutions, and you have to look way forward about your topic. Gentlemen, every good lecturate should consist the basic things. What are the basic things? First of all, it should address the problem. Okay. Second, it should give the examples. And third, example of the problem. And third, it should give the solution of the problem. Because armed forces, becoming an officer in the Indian army, you should have the solution of everything. Okay, you don't have to be stuck anywhere, you should find the solution. So it's important. Okay, I hope you got it. Now let's move toward the conclusion part. Conclusion will consist of 20 to 30 seconds, and we have to end positively. Don't end your lecturate in a negative way. End your lecturate in the positive way, gentlemen. Because ending should always positive. होता है ना बॉलीवुड फिल्मों में भी, कि जो एंडिंग होती है, भले ही शुरू में हीरो पिटेगा बहुत, लेकिन एंड में तो क्या होगा, हीरो विलन को मारेगा ही मारेगा. So end should be positive, right? So how our ending should look like, or conclusion should look like to conclude, AI is not replacing soldier but enhancing their capabilities. India should continue investing in indigenous AI while ensuring ethical use. A technologically strong nation is better prepared to safeguard its sovereignty. Okay, got it? I hope you got the basic structure idea of lecture. Now I will tell you about some basic mistake which everybody did in his lecture. The first one is the memorizing speech. यार क्या करते हैं ना लोग, लेक्चरेट को और टॉपिक को मेमोराइज कर लेते हैं पहले. दैट इज़ नॉट थिंग, दैट इज़ नॉट द OLQ टाइप ऑफिसर लाइक क्वालिटी. You should use your presence of mind at the time. So don't memorize the speeches. Okay. Second one is do not use extreme political position. You have to be neutral in your lecture. And if you want to be don't want to be neutral, so you have to give point in the support of government. Because जो आर्मी होती है वो गवर्नमेंट के लिए ही तो काम करती है. So you cannot go against the government, right? Second, speak slowly. Do not speak too fast. And do not use unnecessary vocabulary words. Use the simple words. You give your lecture in the simple words, and quoting incorrect fact and statistics. Do not use incorrect fact. If you do not remember any fact or data, so you don't have to give. You don't need to give it. in your lecture, right? So what you can do to give a best lecture, you can speak naturally, maintain contact with your uh, with your friends, organize your thought, give balanced view, and finish confidently. Got it? Okay. Now let's practice a lecture. And the topic of our lecture is reforms in education. Okay. As I told you, our opening should include the a quotation or a story. So basically um, I basically prefer quotation, and the quotation for my reforms in education is the most powerful weapon which can use to change the world, and it was given by National Mandela, right? Then I will say that good morning, respected GTO and my dear friends. And this line can be used differently by the different candidates. You can use your opening line like Jai Hind everyone. Then you will say that today I would like to speak on reforms in education. Okay. Then education is the most important part of our life. We will define the education first. Then we will talk about the reforms. So education is the most important part of our life. It helps us to gain knowledge, develop the skill, and become the responsible citizens. However, as society and technology are changing rapidly, so our education system also needs improvement to meet today's requirement. This is a perfect opening statement. We could just define the education system and also it talk about the reforms, क्योंकि हमें जो बताना था लेक्चर डिलीवर करना है वो हमें रिफॉर्म्स पे ही डिलीवर करना है, एजुकेशन रिफॉर्म्स पे। लेकिन ये उसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि हम अपना पूरा लेक्चर एक रिफॉर्म्स पे ही डिलीवर करेंगे, हम एजुकेशन से शुरू करेंगे, रिफॉर्म पे ख़त्म करेंगे। ठीक है? देन नेक्स्ट, इवन टुडे many student study sorry, mainly to score good marks in exam. They often memorize answer without understanding the concept. In real life, however, success depends upon what? Problem solving, communication, teamwork, and practical skill. For example, a student may score well in the science but may not know how to apply that knowledge in everyday situation. Right? I have given here example also. As I told you, we have to give a simple example to make our lecture effective. Got it? Read it. Okay. उसके बाद I have given one more example. Another issue is the gap between the urban and the rural education. In cities, students often have access to smart classrooms, internet, coaching facilities, while many students in village still faces shortage of the teachers and resources. Reforms should ensure that every child get equal opportunities regardless of where they live. I identify the problem here. Okay, now moving forward, the government had introduced several reforms through the National Education Policy 2020. I give present scenario now. This is the present scenario where government bring reform through the National Education Policy, which is considered as NAP 2020, and it focuses on understanding concept instead of rote learning, promoting skill development, vocational training, and giving students more flexibility in choosing subjects. Today, students can learn coding, financial literacy, and useful skills along with the traditional subject, right? So this is the lecturate. This level of preparation you should need to become an officer in army. Then what ahead? Technology is also playing an important role. Now I talk about the technology. Online classes, educational apps, digital libraries, making learning easier and more accessible. However, efforts should be made to ensure that students in the remote areas also benefit from these facilities. Teachers, I also include teachers. How can you forget teachers if you are talking about the education, right? Teachers are the fundamentals, basic of the education. Teachers are equally important in this process. Regular teachers training can help them use modern teaching method and make learning more interesting and practical, right? So this is our body. I hope you understand every aspect, what I include, what I told you about, what you should include. Give present scenario, talk about the advantage, talk about the challenges, and talk about the way forward, which is solution. Right? Everything is included in this lecture. Now let's move toward the conclusion. So I would say that to conclude reforms in education, to conclude, reforms in education are necessary because the world is changing quickly. Our education system should not only help students pass exam but also prepare them for life. If we focus on quality education, practical learning, and equal opportunities for all, we can build a skilled, confident, and responsible generation that will contribute to the progress of our nation. Right? So, this is how we will conclude our lecture by saying thank you. So, gentlemen, this is all about lecture. Hope you get lot of insights from this video. If it helps you, then leave a like button and subscribe the channel for the more updates, and best of luck for your future. And if you have any doubt, then leave it on the comment section. I will give a solution for you. And if this video is helpful for you, then leave a comment of helpful in the comment section. Thank you.